Stephen, we've spoken before about the role that emotional intelligence has in our behavior as great leaders. And we also all know that when it gets really tough, when we're in that cauldron of stress at times, sometimes it's difficult to show up in the appropriate emotionally intelligent way. How can leaders get a hold of that and do something about that?
So Alex, self-management. It's a huge one. I have twin daughters. I know what the cauldron is like. It's when you are hugely triggered by a situation or an individual, and so you lose control of your emotional landscape. And the impact that you have isn't the same as your intent. You start having a negative impact on the individuals or situations where you're trying to have that positive intent. So how do we help leaders navigate those triggered situations? You and I have spoken about this often. Starts with self-awareness. Once you have built up your emotional awareness, you recognize, hey, I'm triggered. And now you want to manage that. And so a company that I work closely with, Schutz Svensson, developed a tool called ABC, Awareness, Breathe, Choose. And that tool will help you manage your triggered state.
Okay, so again, sounds great in theory. You take that pause, that's awareness, you breathe, and then you make that choice. But in reality, when you're in that difficult, stressful situation, how can you remember to do that?
Okay, so we want to change a habit. Certain people or situations trigger us, and our habitual way is to get emotionally upset, and then we react. We want to be able to manage those situations. So self-awareness is the starting point. When you recognize you're triggered, awareness, ask yourself a question. What is it that I'm feeling? Or name that feeling. I am feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling demotivated. I'm feeling attacked. I'm feeling angry. Whatever the feeling is, if you name it, you help take the sting out of it. That's the A in awareness. B, breathe. There's enough research around yoga, deep breathing as a mechanism to help release toxins, to give you a pause break, and then choose. And part of choosing is asking yourself a simple question. How can I see this differently? What's going on for that person? The moment you ask yourself a question, what you do is reframe the situation and you shift your perspective from your emotional brain to your thinking brain. And when you ask the question, your thinking brain is what manages your emotional brain. Now you can reclaim control of your emotional landscape and choose the impact you want to have.
Love it, Stephen, love it. It's a great, easy way of remembering, easy as ABC, as you might say, but a simple way of interrupting the pattern so we can then make proper choices about how to behave. Thank you. That's great.
Pleasure, Alex.